Oh, there he is. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Welcome back. So we've got a few things I want to start doing today. One of them, I'm going to start with my favorite locale live thing because apparently there's something interesting going on. Yeah, this is it right here, guys. This is what I want to talk about. I'm going to give it a few minutes to start up, and then we'll start watching into it. All right. Sorry, guys, because I'm severely dehydrated, my mouth is set very dry. All right. I think we're ready to go, guys. Yep, we're ready to go. Interesting, everything's working today. Surprise, surprise. All right, let's get started with this one. So apparently Boogie's desperate for views. I mean, this is getting sad, personally, but let's watch it. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we're gonna be watching this. Apparently, this is Boogie trying to get views. Well, that's what it says on Locale alert. So let's see what he's talking about. I don't watch Locale Live no more, guys, at all. I don't. I'm not on there at all. I used to be on there a while back when we had Wings, Kim, and Boogie, but now without them three, there's no chemistry. It's just boring bullshit. It's just basically, for the most part, not all of them. I exclude Steak out of this one, but for a lot of the others, they're all just fat people. I mean, I don't give a shit about this, but I don't watch it. I want to see fat people. I'll just go outside. There's like a suburb full of them. And when I say fat people, I don't mean like a little bit overweight. I don't. That doesn't not bother me. I mean like fat people. The beast area, not a little bit overweight. All right, let's see what's going on.
My body can't keep up. I will fall and die.
Good.
Okay, well, good. At least it's on camera. You're good.
That is 5 minutes on the treadmill right there. We're going to keep track. When he gets on, I will look down at the clock, tell y'all what time it is, and we will start it then. If you guys he's not up there yet. He's fat, he's slow, he's old. By the time he even gets up there...
It hurts! God damn it!
By the time he even gets up there, you guys can already have a substantial amount of time put on the clock. Get his ass up there. All he's done is talk about my kid and that I don't care about the show.
Oh, you want your kid to have 10 fingers and 10 toes? Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Yes, like Boogie, very much.
He has 11. I hope he has 11 of each on each hand. I hope he has 1,000.
Do not put a curse on my unborn child. Get your fat ass on the treadmill. Get off the mic.
Oh my god.
Walk. Billion fingers.
Get on the treadmill, you fat, ugly piece of... It is 5:08. He needs to get off at 5:13. Unless you guys bust...
Man, he's really loud.
Drop some 5 bombs on us and keep his dumb ass walking on there until he fixes his attitude.
Every 5 bombs, another finger. Every 5 bombs, another...
You, Boogie. Welcome to Band
I don't know how you call this entertaining. I don't think this is entertaining.
It was 5:13. Now it is 5:28 or 6:28 Eastern. We're going to keep you on there. You can just walk the rest of the podcast because you don't... I have the best mama trauma. I should talk about why Gidgey's bad. Everybody shut up and listen to me. I'm Boogie2988. Mother was the worst.
Right up. You can't do a show without me.
My mother was the worst. So now I know all about mother drama. But you don't. You don't have any kids. You don't have any real responsibilities. You don't know what it takes to do it.
He said all the donations are going to dry up without him.
Jesus. They want you punished, Boogie. That's why you're walking, because you're being talking about my kid tomorrow.
Oh god. I mean, that's not okay. You can't talk about someone else's kid like that. I mean, I'm getting the
Another-
gist of what's
another
going on.
15. You have 15 more minutes, Boogie. 5:28. Yeah, I know. I see you're getting tired. I see you're getting tired. I see your hips are getting weak. I can see you slowing down. But you know,
How are you getting
the treadmill doesn't
tired?
stop. It's a robot. It's gonna keep moving, just like your mouth. It will run until you're tired.
I like that
So
one.
I'm
Like your
glad you
mouth.
got yourself up
I
there.
mean, how
We're
does he
working
get so,
it
so
out.
tired?
Good
I
for
could
you,
do that for
Boogie.
2 hours
Stay there.
easily.
But I have to
Let's
get
go.
off for 1
That's the
second.
slow speed. Yeah, no one.
No,
It wouldn't be a problem with anyone.
Boogie.
No, listen. I'm sorry. I wanted. Can I come up?
If you get off that treadmill, I'm gonna end this stream. Get your ass walking. I'm not playing with you, Boogie. This is what you have to do. Keemstar just came up and broke it down.
To
Don't
talk.
let me get off. I have to get water. He says he's gonna end the stream if I don't keep walking.
Walk, mother. Walk.
My back hurts, man. I can't walk for
Stop.
Give me that hot sauce in case somebody donates. Nobody's donating because
Oh, Keemstar's got a new
Well,
icon.
That's just not something I'm all right with. Like that's.
Well, not
real.
Scooter,
You know,
okay.
Just about anything else, all good. That's like real.
We'll raise the speed. Because right now he's got to be on the lowest speed. Boogie, we're going to speed it up if we get money.
I can't go faster than this.
yeah,
I'll die. Literally, my
well,
body can't keep up. I will
At least-
fall and die.
Can you?
Okay, well,
Maybe
good,
not
at least it's on
die, but
camera,
can you at
you're
least
good.
fall over?
I didn't get a 20 for me to eat hot sauce.
I mean, this is
Hot
why a lot of
sauce
people
was
watch the
for
show,
me,
because I want to see
Your
Boogie
girl
get
brought you-
punished.
You were supposed to be eating birdseed, but you couldn't handle it, so they went and got you sauce. I got sauce because you were about me.
Look, I'll deliver for you. Bad.
All right, Boogie is starting to catch his breath, you guys. Somebody drop a 5 bomb. Get his ass back on the treadmill. Get back on the treadmill. Get your fat ass on the treadmill. Get on the treadmill. That's 10 minutes on the treadmill. You should be on there. We shouldn't be having a conversation. Just keep walking. You've got 6
Oh,
more minutes.
God. Poor guy. I mean, I kind of feel bad for him, but then I
What do you
realized
mean
who he is.
you can't? It's walking. Every
I
human
know
being
who
can
he is,
walk.
so
If
no, I don't feel
zombies were
bad.
coming right now,
You walk
you'd
with a
walk.
leg cramp,
If
you walk
hungry
with your legs out,
dogs
working
were
that
chasing
ball.
you right now, I bet you'd walk. If something bad was happening, you'd walk. The least you can do is walk.
He'll probably
from
run.
People. Boogie,
I'll start
you have
the timer
5
over.
more
I'll start the
minutes.
timer.
Oh,
I know,
God.
I'll
Are you
start over,
fucking
but I have to
kidding
help
me?
you.
Dude, Boogie is in big trouble. I went on the
Uh-oh.
TTS, right? Because I was listening to this in the other room, and he had it set to $20 the entire time. He never changed it to 5. It was literally a scam. No, I'm gonna. No, I got off. I have the proof.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We see it. It's up on screen, full screen right now.
No.
Boogie,
Oh, my God. $19.99, so $20.
Right? Take this time. Take is that time?
Yes, it's time, Boogie. Fine.
Baby
Yeah,
Stark
that was
is gonna
time.
Walk faster than Boogie in no time, with all 10 toes down.
I think my
And then-
friend's
and then
child
it's
could walk
great.
faster than him, and she's like,
$5.
and
See
she's,
what you're-
and she's like not even 2 years old, and she's got more stamina than this
You
fat
mind
thing.
if I throw this backhand
Is
I mean,
emoji?
I've got more stamina. I'm overweight, not as big as him, but
Hand emoji, right pointing finger
I'm about
emoji,
97
a drop
kilos,
underscore
so-
BB super chatted $5. May any ill will Boogie and
you know,
his
you
big
compare him to
shout towards
Desi.
BB
Desi's like a
Stark be
stick
returned
compared to
Boogie
him.
fivefold towards treadmill. At Sparkles 4,000.
I mean, she looks really bad, to be honest.
Super chatted $5. I will be saying prayers for you and your wife.
Can we get some more busted nuts to keep his fat ass? I don't care how many times he falls down. I want him back up there. I want him walking, dude. I'm mad at
Oh goodness, Stakes really wants him in
Oh
trouble.
my God! Wait, Steak, you didn't even see it. Whenever the thing pulled, whenever the thing he pulled the like safety thing out, it was like around his neck. And shit.
Oh my god.
No, get back on the treadmill, you big fat.
I don't know if you should be talking about that, Albert.
can't take it.
I mean, you're not
I
big as
can't
he
take
is,
the
but
$5.
you're not bad. You're not far behind.
You're kidding.
But at least he's not a piece of shit. I'll give him that.
5 from Phantom. That's 10 more.
And he's got
minutes.
more of an attitude, actually. I kind of like his personality.
Oh my God, Steak, dude, this is incredible. He has 2 ski sticks for a treadmill.
How is that going to help him run better, or walk better, or move better?
Boogie, did you hurt yourself? He's
I'm
got
a
here.
showrunner.
Walked so
You
well
should-
today.
You should.
He got a Band-Aid on it. He did so much work on that treadmill
Boogie,
yesterday.
did you walk yourself to death on that treadmill yesterday?
Yeah, I'm in
you're,
a
you're hobbling
tremendous
around.
amount of pain. I had a giant fistful of pain pills to get through today. I'm
Seriously?
miserable.
What? Well, you need pain pills to get through some walking? I mean, it's just walking. I mean, well, how is it really hard? Someone tell me, is it really hard to walk?
What if he sits at the end and you feed him snacks off the treadmill?
Oh my god, that'd be epic. Oh, that's a lot of cereal for Boogie to catch.
Well, you got to throw them down like one at a time. The treadmill's got to go like a hundo speed. So you got to try and launch them in his mouth. What if he chokes?
Who cares? At least it's on the show, right?
True. I don't know if they launch off enough. It's like he has to lick the treadmill to get them.
What if we put some in that drywall and it just hits him in the face?
You should sneak pieces of drywall in between the cereal and see what
Yeah,
he
put a chunk of.
All right, now
put
we're
a chunk
talking.
of that drywall.
Desi,
right on
can
the
you full
treadmill.
screen it for the audience? Is that possible? Thank
Yeah,
you.
Desi, put a piece of that.
What happened to
big
Desi?
chunk of drywall and let it just
As
smack right
fast
in his
as
fucking head.
possible and start just layering snackies in Boogie's mouth. Boogie like that.
Dog wants a piece of the action. What happens with animals, guys?
Okay, we got. Does it go faster, Desi? Does it go faster?
Of course
He's-
it does.
he's
It's a
like, "Good
treadmill.
grief." He's just eating. This is the only way he gets to eat on screen.
This fat
He's like-
shit.
He's like, I want more.
This is
Yeah,
why he
Kane
wasn't
doesn't
on
let him
today. He
eat
knew I'd be
for the
able to
most
give him
part.
some sort of food. Okay, there you go. That's faster. Does he do one covered in peanut butter? Wipe
Okay,
some-
Ew.
There we go.
There we
We're
go.
talking about speed right there, buddy.
Wipe one on your peanut butter and then give it to him. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Oh my god!
They donated two red
Is
donuts.
it possible to go negative speed so you can just stand there and it does the walking for you?
That'll be
No,
funny.
you got to do it a couple more levels.
It's 4 minutes, Boogie. 4 minutes.
Damn,
There's
it's pretty
only 4
busy.
minutes. There's no reason to show everybody your 4 inches.
Oh God.
Relax.
Poor Desi.
This paint is drying on me. Help.
You guys should
Help.
take a bath together after this.
No, he couldn't fit in the bathtub with me. Are
No,
talking
not
about
you
me?
and not you. No, Desi and
Oh.
Boogie should take a bath together and bathe each other.
That's
Okay.
probably gonna happen.
Because they're gonna need to get all up in those crevices for the peanut butter on both of them. Boogie is out on his feet, dude.
Boogie looks like he's about
I
to
hope he
cut.
slips and falls.
How?
He'll have to take this episode down.
No.
Boogie, do not.
No.
Boogie, do not. Boogie, do not. No, no,
No,
Boogie.
no.
We proved how badly we need you, Steak. I hope everything
I
goes
mean-
well for you and your son and your wife and your family. We love you. God bless you, Steak. We need you.
Okay.
I don't know how many more. How
All right. That was not really a. But the whole thing was for Steak because he pissed Steak off. Not really it. I mean, I thought there'd be more. To be honest, I don't feel like there's enough. Yeah, I don't feel there's like most. Let's go and watch the other channel that we usually watch, and then we'll move on to something a bit more Australian-ness. So if you guys are here for Australia stuff, yeah, I'll be doing some stuff because apparently we're a police state now, so go figure. We're also not safe, so apparently there's 2 videos. Probably going to be a few videos though, because I haven't got a chance to catch up on this channel. What was it called? Aussie 7. I forgot his name again. I'm always forgetting his name. Not Osborne. Why does it always show up Osborne? That's the one. I'm always forgetting his name, guys. Let's see if there's anything interesting uploaded today. All right, here we go. Watch this one, and then I'm gonna have to see this one, and then we'll finish up. Let's put the. All right, we'll see how we're going.
Until I'm sick of the face. I know it's working. So do not troll me. Do not troll me and say that my audio is not working because I know that it's working. I tested it and tested it and tested it. So, here we go.
How do you back up the testing?
Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Boogie the 988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And you are watching
I hate that
Roll
intro.
Live, the worst podcast on YouTube.
Oh, it definitely is.
This is miserable.
Dude.
Thank
You're not
you.
supposed
You
to
know what?
spill soda. You're supposed to drink soda.
God bless you. Thank you so much, Mary, for helping the bottom line. Keem may not fire me today, which is what's the deal?
I don't know if
Reach out
Kim
to
might
Steak.
fire. I think he should be fired.
Heavenly Father, please do not interrupt this prayer. By the way, none of this TTS bullshit. Okay, this is a prayer.
No one cares.
Heavenly Father, please protect this baby steak child. Make sure that it comes out with all
Gotta tell
hands.
God his truth, right? Like I think if he didn't tell God his truth, the rest of the stuff wouldn't
Well,
count,
we know
right?
he's a
God
liar.
knows
Look
my
at his
heart.
fi-
God
look-
knows
look
my
at his
heart.
nip-
Yeah, God knows his heart is the thing. Like if he's actually no, maybe not with your mom.
They're
We've heard
saying
the
audio's
stories.
delayed. It's not. It's perfect. What are you talking about? I'm
Oh,
perfect.
no.
Look. You say something, Billy.
Yeah, well, I think people right at home need to
Oh my
refresh their
God.
browser because there was a buffer.
Oh my God, you are a little bit delayed. Steaks.
no!
You're
Albert, say
fine.
something.
That's
The
What's
prayer
going on?
ruined
What's
everything.
Going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Boogie, you did a bad prayer.
It's been delayed since you.
Albert's not
been
delayed.
smoted.
Albert's not. Why?
been
What's with the
smoted.
alien shit? I will make this bitch dress up like an alien. I swear to God, I will. Hold on. Let me check
Maybe
something.
you need to dress.
You
up
want
as
an alien so bad, I'll make this bitch dress up like an alien. Albert, you don't run me. I run you. Do you understand that?
You don't run a fucking thing, dog.
Well, you don't run me. I promise you that. You don't even run that house.
Get him,
you run
Albert.
me. I run this house.
Yeah, no, you don't. That's why Keemstar put a hole in your wall. You run nothing. You have no authority to say
Well,
no.
when he's not here, I run it.
No, this is his. That's his house. Remember?
What do you got planned to do? What do you? Albert, what are you supposed to be doing?
We're
today?
talking. You wanted to do a podcast.
She didn't love me. If she loved me, I wouldn't be a piece of shit. I became a piece of shit because she didn't love me. If
Oh,
she
here we
loved me,
go.
that's why.
Plenty of people
Stop,
love you
Bookie.
now, though.
Stop with
does
this.
that matter?
No.
Stop it, Boogie.
Nobody loves me. Everybody fucking hates me. Do you love me, Albert?
I actually like that this guy puts like little text, like captions in it. I think it's kind of cool. He does a really good job. I mean, I prefer ones who actually have a more commentary if you hear their opinions, but this is good for like just for us talking.
Albert?
You're my second favorite YouTuber of all time.
Who's the first?
I'm your only fan.
Who's the first?
And your grandpa.
Yeah. Okay, now I
You're
can't.
you're higher on the list than Keemstar. Keemstar's number 6.
Now I can't be.
That's
mean to
pretty
you.
good.
That's actually nice. But I do want to have a talking episode. I do.
Okay, so why are you?
That's why
asking what I'm
Billy's
gonna
here.
do?
That's why Billy's here.
So
Oh,
I'm
God.
not capable of talking. Is that what you're trying to say?
What? Albert, what? Albert,
Oh,
what can you talk about, Albert? What are you going
you
to
talk about a lot.
At Selena Fox super chatted $20. Turn the controls over to Billy so we don't feel like we are watching a kung fu movie with all the delay.
Fuck it, Billy. You want to take over? You got the stream key?
I don't have TTS set up.
5 minutes ago. Look at this. It's a light
Oh.
photo frame of Sammy. I haven't got a chance to plug it in and turn it on yet.
Maybe haven't got a
and there's
chance.
a few other
All you gotta
things
do
in
is
here,
plug it
too.
in.
This is the coolest shit. I
Takes like
cannot
5
believe that
minutes.
You guys still send me nice things. I know you're not the cleverest kid in school. Okay.
Ouch.
I'm not in school, so why do I got to be clever? You're not very clever either, you big fat.
I'm smart
bitch.
enough to know the answer to this question, and I bet you are
That's why
too.
you.
fucktard.
That's why you went to college. Let me just explain this. Let me just. Put
I
it
did
up.
go to college.
You went to college. You went to college. You had an amazing YouTube career. It all fell apart. Now you're here in the LCU and you have a liar tattoo on your knuckle.
I like it. here.
So I don't want to hear about being clever. I really don't want to hear
Boogie,
about.
for the love of everything that exists, please zip your mouth.
No.
Whenever Keem isn't around, you act like a stuck-up.
Correct.
Probably one of the reasons he left this show again.
Mm-hmm.
Pipe down and humble yourself.
Well, I drove steak away on day 4. So yeah, I'm probably why Keem
You
left.
didn't
And I
drive-
drove steak away too.
He has cammed up from the hospital before.
This
Every
is
time he
embarrassing.
goes to the
This is
hospital,
really
he cams
bad.
up. Almost
I mean, I
like
know
a
Boogie's
performance.
bad, but I didn't realize he
Yeah,
was a
Steak
piece
don't
of shit.
Want his wife on camera. Is
And,
there a problem?
No,
Like,
I actually started to
I'm-
think,
I'm
yeah,
saying
right. I
this
used to
right.
like Boogie, but
I
he
will
just
call steak.
the
I
second
have his phone number. I will
Keem's
call
not around.
Steak and we hit a donation goal.
Yeah. And Steak could just keep the camera like.
come on, man.
There you
I'm
go.
not a doctor.
I set a YouTube goal of 2020s. There's one, I think. Keemstar.
No, come-
Oh, that's Keemstar's all. Thanks, Keem.
At Keemy
Somebody in
Keem's
chat's
I'm
like,
not
well, that's
gonna
a
allow it.
shitty goal. Look, it's Locale Live. This isn't nuts. We're gonna hit 2020s just setting here. Okay, it's Locale Live. People love this show.
What are you trying to say? Nuts was.
Well, you
doing-
have to
Nuts
smash
was
holes
13.
in walls. I think Billy should be the #1 on this show. If I'm being honest,
How's
with you.
it feel? How's it feel to know that Keem gave up on you, Boogie?
I don't fuck, man. I'm not prepared to answer that question.
Albert, he gave him you and Steak. That's not giving up.
No, it is. It is. I would agree 100% with that.
I mean, I'll just say this, not to toot my own horn or anything, but he gave Boogie one of the most. Listen, Boogie's just an intern on this show. It's me and Steak. All right, Boogie the intern. So
Yeah, this is Nuts Live.
Somebody complaining about the goal. Yeah, I set 20/20s, and I'll call Steak at the hospital. Now you're going to scam Queens when I gave him $200 to fix up that porch? You gonna scam him?
I'm not no type of scammer, dog. You keep calling me. You're the one that's a scammer.
Then
Mr.
Yeah, he's
Krabs
probably the
worked
biggest
on that
scammer
show.
right now.
Did
One
you
of them.
walk yourself to death on that treadmill yesterday?
Yeah, I'm in a
you're hobbling
tremendous
around.
amount of
Word
pain.
should be
I-
taken
How are
back.
you in pain? That's
That-
not even a big thing.
That
Now
makes me
you're
nervous,
lagging because you
you
don't
know?
have internet.
I do have internet.
Get
I
internet.
actually, my download
Yeah, I don't know if
speed
it's-
is 700.
Well, your
really
upload
good.
speed shit
Yeah,
today.
he did swear a lot. I did see a piece of
It's not
paper.
shit today. Your end is you're the only one lagging.
I'm happy with Albert. Albert doesn't actually swear every 5 seconds. Neither does Boogie. Neither does Billy. Billy's probably one of my favorites. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not lagging. My internet. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. I'm not going to crash out on today's stream. I have to be the showrunner, Albert. You have to help me run a show, Albert.
Dude, you walk. You walk.
Well, okay, I'll
You
make you a
fell off
deal. Hey,
twice.
hey,
You
one
almost
red
flew
dono, you
you
start
almost
painting
flew
because you
through the
won't scam the
fucking
fans.
door.
One red dono, you start painting. One
Oh.
red dono, you start painting, son.
All right, they ain't gonna do it. You know why they're not gonna do it? Because they don't want me to paint.
They don't want you to do nothing, but at least keep the. Hey, do you know how to? What?
Yeah.
Please give me a red donut so we can keep Albert busy for a little while. Please.
They're not gonna get.
Please.
You guys, you give us a red dono,
Please.
Boogie gets back on that treadmill.
Please.
Give us
Boogie
a red dono, Boogie gets back on that treadmill.
I
Let's
will.
break this
I'll
up.
tell you what. On the
treadmill,
back
no,
end
no,
of the
no.
stream, if Steak
No, let's
shows up,
break the
if
tip.
Steak
Let's
shows
break
up and
the
does
tip.
his job, I'll get on the treadmill. How about that, son? How about that, son?
Billy's
Dude,
gonna
how
get-
is he gonna do it? He didn't.
Still set to $5, Billy.
Oh, it's set to $5.
At least it didn't.
they're not-
Okay, it didn't read
it
it. At
didn't
least it
read
didn't
out.
read it. Okay.
Okay.
It's just gonna play the song.
We're not gonna hit the goal. Go ahead.
And if we get a red donut, we're gonna keep Albert busy. I want to say one more thing about the baby. And Albert, it's an easy question. You can answer.
Ethan
it.
Suplee.
Suplee. I've talked to Ethan Suplee quite a bit, actually.
Ethan Suplee.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Get him on the
Yeah.
show. Get him on the show.
He was
Dude,
going to come
my
to
name's
Fat
Joe.
Camp
Get him
last
on
year.
the show.
Maybe he'll come to Fat Camp this year. Oh, I know another athlete, by the way. Got a bunch of signed shit from him. It's
Ethan-
called Diamond Dallas Page, the guy who trained me to
that's
walk again. The guy who trained me
That's
to walk
WWE.
again.
Yeah, I don't know if you should be boasting about that. I mean, you barely walk on a treadmill, so the guy obviously didn't do a good job.
And the guy who got me back up and walking.
I just said the same thing. I just said that, guys. He didn't do a good job. I agree.
Well,
We can do this all day. I don't care. Is that supposed to be an insult?
$20 donos, he eats some more birdseed. $20 donos, he eats birdseed. They don't want to watch you paint, apparently. $20 dono.
All right, guess
Yeah, I
what?
actually think they are
All right,
worse than
all right,
DSP,
gentlemen,
let's be
everyone
honest.
I've gifted, Boogie's getting back on the
Give
train.
me what you guys think. Yeah, they worse than
How do I
DSP.
run a show? Billy, you want to be showrunner?
No.
Showrunner. Billy,
if
you're
I-
here.
If I show run, there's no TTS. Can't hear it. I guess there's no
I'll
TTS
just leave
right
it
now.
running.
You
But we
get
have
around-
T-
you can
Rob,
get around
we
in a
have-
diaper with a bottle in your mouth for every $20.
Albert, do me a favor. Please paint your mama's porch, please. They'll donate if you're doing something. They want to see you do something, man. Please.
I want to see you do something.
Please do something. Please don't
Put a
just sit
poll.
there and smoke.
Put a poll in the chat. Put a poll in the chat. Put a poll in the chat.
Oh, where the fuck is it though? Where is it?
Uh-oh.
I had to move it off the soundboard because Keem got mad because Keem was on the show.
Should you? Oh, he's not here no more. You can play it, right?
Right?
What can we get away with Keem gone? What do you think we'd have to do to get him to come back? Just
Oh god.
AI slop song episode. Let's just do that.
No, let's not do that.
Song, bitch.
AI's making a song, right?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of him either. I don't think he's bad though. I think maybe he's got a lot of time, but I think he's doing a good job calling out Boogie every single chance he gets. Every chance he gets, he says Boogie's this, and this, and which is true. I've watched a lot of Boogie in the past, so yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, this is your AI songs suck.
I
Boogie.
don't make AI songs.
If
I'll
we
make
don't
a
have
real
Steak here, if Steak's giving birth, I'm getting anxiety watching this. Oh God.
Yeah, he doesn't. Why doesn't he just open it like a person?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
How are you even going to get paint out like this, man?
Yeah, this.
Song. You're gonna see.
You want to see the fucking alien that this porch needs to get goddamn painted, and we need to hit our goal, and then I will go slap Desi around until she dresses like an alien for you. That's what I'll fucking do.
But, yeah,
'Cause
oh
you
my
better get
God,
this
they think this is
$20
entertainment. I
dough
don't find this
and so I
entertainment at
can
all. I
toss
think this is
steak in
stupid.
here, and this porch better get painted.
Always don't.
So I try to watch
Stabbard. Even
this every
Amberlynn
morning,
Rain
every
is
time we
calling you
stream, guys.
Stabbard
Always
right
gonna do
now.
locale live first, I
Oh
think.
no.
If there's
I'm a
anything.
fucking, I'm a legendary stabber, dude. Don't fucking hate on the player, hate on the game, dog.
Put your hair up. Put your hair up. Go like a squat.
You're sick. Boogie's sick.
This may have been.
All right, you need to just. It's in her hair. It's oh my.
Oh
God.
no! This is so bad.
Poor Desi. I mean, I'm gonna say it.
Please like this. if you don't like it.
Oh fuck! It makes it worse that you're wearing the black makeup.
How live is dead. You may as well put a.
Yeah, I think that's terrible. I really do. That's disgusting on Boogie's part. Man, okay. All right? Let's watch this one. Something a bit more different. Apparently, RTU wants to fight Keemstar. That would be kind of cool. After that, guys, we'll move on to something more my speed.
Holy God, what are you showing me? Come on.
I clicked the wrong thing.
Of course,
My
he did.
apologies. Oh wait, did I still click the wrong thing? Let me see. Yeah, this is the right one.
How do you call Tech USA
Well,
and you don't know how to start a stream?
I'm the same size I was yesterday. I'm just wearing a black shirt. So, you know, black makes you look slimmer. It's actually something very interesting, which maybe he expected me to talk about it, Keemstar. I don't know. I don't know what his angle with this whole thing is. I know he always has some like ulterior motive. So, yeah, I had to wash I washed the poo shirt. I got in the shower.
Yeah.
I threw that in there.
Okay.
I usually wear it as a jacket, but I'm like, so I put it in like a thorough.
Oh,
wash.
what? He's been doing it
I
for the last
almost
5 videos.
guarantee you
I mean,
that
he
he
doesn't
did.
wash his clothes that regularly, does he?
So I get
I do mine every day. I
a
wear it,
Discord
throw it out.
message from Keemstar saying, "Want a box?" And I wrote back to him, "Sure, but I want 150K up front." Now you may think, Rich, I don't think you're worth that, and I would
Yeah, I agree.
agree with you. I'm not that relevant. But one, for it to be worth my time, because that would mean, not that I'm not planning on continuing to get in shape, it would still be a lot of focus. It would mean that time would be somewhat taken away from this, what I'm doing here, which is
Trust me, I don't think anyone cares.
growing. Austin, I'll get to you in a moment. Matter of fact, just for now.
Buns all night.
At Austin.
So, one, like I was going to say, it would
Damn,
take away
30
some
minutes
time
already.
from this. Two,
Oh, I remember
I
that.
think there isn't even a three. After all the shit, this is why he also went to throw me under the bus too, because I hold to the fact.
Birds 4 a.m. stream. Let's go.
I think that he realizes that there would have probably, if I could get past the full word of defamation, I think I had something pretty solid there, not just against him either, you know? So,
I'm getting
if Bob
bored.
said, look, man, I'm a grown ass man, and you make.
All
your
right,
own
well, let's
decisions,
bang this
but
up because
with
this is so
the
slow and
shitty
boring.
state of mind I was in, which I alluded to in the video.
Dude, it's so
and,
slow.
I mean, he was calling Lauren multiple times, badgering her to get on the show. He wanted to destroy me. So.
No,
actually
I
didn't
think you
kind of
want
deal
the
with that,
truth.
Daniel. Granted, I probably would have lost 22, but I think I could have done pretty well. I think it was fairly black and white with all the receipts and stuff that I had. So you actually would be getting a bargain with that. In my opinion. I'm not a lawyer though, but I, bar a little bit. Like I said to you in the messages, I'm not one of the fucking weirdos from Locale that you get that dwells in a Discord 24/7. I'm not dancing for you for free. I mean, obviously, and I wouldn't blame you for this. Yeah, he was calling Lauren. Yep. You want me to sign a contract that I actually do get in the ring with you? No shit. Of course. I'm not saying just, which you would never do. I know you're a better businessman than that. But that's it. I'm not doing anything. Or for, you think, listen, I'm already losing weight and walking, but yeah, I'm going to start lifting. But I'm doing casual lifting, man. I'm not going to make it. You think to get into semi-boxing shape, that'll take a lot more time.
So what?
So, am I saying that I'm relevant enough for that kind of money? No, but there's a little bit more history than that. And I do think, even though you said it wouldn't make it back, maybe not initially, maybe the initial show would be a flop. I think over time, between
Everything's boring as hell, guys. I don't know why I watch this.
That you would make it back, and then some.
It's so slow and just doesn't get to the point.
No freebies. That's where it stands. Did you expect me to talk about?
I feel like watching a movie like
I don't know what you're
Alakando or
about,
something.
Except maybe you want to just legally punch me in the face, which, feelings mutual. But
at trolling black.
So that is it. I get it. Like I have maybe out of a percentage from up to 100, I have like a 0.5% star factor. I understand that. Even when Review Tech USA was at peak relevancy, it just is what it is. But my channel is growing. The videos today, even the shorts doing pretty okay. I ain't stepping away. Not that I would step away from it completely, but I want to put 150% in. If I'm going to be tied to something else to put 75 to 80% in, I want to be compensated for it.
Jesus Christ, that's a terrible way of looking at it. I mean, working out should not be thinking of that.
So,
why is it getting so aggro?
Well, here's the thing. Nothing would be discussed with it. You just made me realize the third point. Nothing would be discussed with it except when it happened. It's not going to happen. He's a fucking cheap ass. It's never going to happen. But I'm just making it abundantly clear. If I see, and I'm talking in my pocket too, after taxes, by the way. I think I said that to him as well. I was like,
yeah, we already know that. He's not serious. I know that.
Sam takes his shit.
He's a fat slug of shit.
Walking away with that. After all the bullshit and time wasted and fucking shady shit you did. Because you had a fucking axe to grind with me because I was an idiot and naive to YouTube rules and I mirrored an episode of Drama Alert. That's where it started with. Tell me I'm lying. You petty bitch. Tell me I'm lying. Scared of what? I just don't want to waste my time and I want to get a paycheck, sir.
Needed to drum some more drums.
It's starting to sound like Wings. That's what he says.
Yeah. Anything to stay relevant, I guess.
Yep. So here, I think that's pretty good bait that I took. But my bait is there's a price tag to it. Wasted my fucking time, unless it's worth it. Should I be the most A-list person they had on that motherfucker? I'm nobody. At least I'm not known for being in the lolcow Discord.
Yeah, I'm not even on my Discord, so what chat am I going to use there? Well, he's what, man.
No, dude, it's not gonna. But here's the thing. Honestly, though, for 150 grand, yeah, I would do it. Wouldn't you? Come on. I'm going to focus on the channel. It's not going to happen. This is all something that's fucking fantasy world. 150%. Okay, but sure, I would. Find a way to manage my time better. Like, come on. If I had fucking that put in my bank account tomorrow, I'm going to fucking find a boxing coach.
Which you called it.
So there it is. It's not a rhetorical offer. It's an actual one. I know he'll never do it. I'm not delusional.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I don't know.
But it is what it is. Yeah, I really do think we're going to see consoles in 2029. To be quite frank with you, I don't give a fuck. Well, it is what it is. I'm not saying that I am on paper worth that. But
it's embarrassing. Look at it. He's drinking Dr. Pepper. Oh my god damn it.
I'm just saying.
Fucking fat sack of shit. Drink some water, dude.
I think it's a good offer.
I mean,
I don't even know what the hell I have the goal at.
That's what I got in here, guys. Water. Actually, I got I got like a puncher light type of thing in here with no sugar.
There's enough people here. Why the fucking trolls want me to fight? I have no interest in fighting Power. I don't hate the guy. I just think he needs help.
I think he's right. Yeah, that was pretty shit. Actually, I'm gonna. That's why I'm watching that ever again. Just so slow. It just takes forever to get to the bloody point. Get to the point. That's why my videos are short. Because I don't like to talk like slowly. I like to say, okay, this is how it is, and do it. That's it. All right, let's get to something else because we've been on here over 3 minutes. So, all right, let's go and see what else is going on in our country. Is there anything in our watch it later playlist? Oh yeah, this guy. Okay, we'll have him on speed because it's a long video. Might be the last one for today as well. Maybe. So let's go and watch the Metro Tunnel thoughts. I don't know what is this Australia, Melbourne. What's the case? Let's have a look. No, this looks like
The Melbourne
Melbourne.
Metro Tunnel has been open to the public for just over a month now, and despite still running to a very sparse temporary timetable, it appears to be getting a pretty good reception. As you probably noticed, I've made quite a lot of videos about the Metro Tunnel, and so far I've been pretty complimentary about it. I am a big supporter of this project overall, and I'm pretty impressed with how it's all turned out. Over December, I had a chance to properly poke around all the new stations, and during this
That should
time,
be
I
right.
collected a lot of thoughts, observations, and criticisms that I'd like to share with you. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all 5 Metro Tunnel stations, and I'm going to point out some things I think are good, some things I think are bad, some things I think are interesting, and I guess just quite a few things I personally would have liked to see done differently. Just a quick reminder, I'm making this video in the first week of 2026, and we're in what's called the summer start. It's basically a soft launch of services through the tunnel running only every 20 minutes and only during off-peak times, and the rest of the network is still operating as normal. The new timetable with full service through the tunnel, what they're calling the big switch, is due to kick in on the 1st of Feb 2026.
All right,
We
yep.
still know hardly anything about it, especially details on what timetable changes may or may not happen on other lines. So in this video, I'm not going to be doing commentary on the service levels or other operational details because we just don't have enough information yet.
Yeah, it
We'll
makes
focus on the
sense.
stuff we can see: design elements of the stations, wayfinding, basic functionality, and
Ah, let's
whatever
watch
other
these
random
guys.
crap
They're
I feel like
recording
throwing
as well.
along the
Forgot to
way. We're
record.
gonna start at the southern end of the tunnel at Anzac Station, then work our way up towards Arden from there. All right.
All right, guys. You can probably see this. So there's a lot of new train lines. So they're going around the city loop, I believe. So I mean, I think it's a good idea, but I don't know if it's expensive. I know they're doing another project, which already had an accident happen.
Let's do this. We're starting our day on a tram, and that's because the first thing we're going to look at is the interchange from trams to trains at Anzac Station. The connection here really is excellent, probably the best on the system, with a direct pedestrian route from the tram island platform at ground level to the railway island platform underground. And it is currently the only place in Melbourne where a tram stop is integrated into the actual design of a railway station, and where you can transfer between a train and a tram without having to walk across a single road or bike lane.
Ooh.
However, I've noticed some interesting variations of these facts in a lot of official project and government media. So as I step off the tram and make the connection to the Metro Tunnel, let's have a look at some of those claims. The Metro Tunnel Socials describes it with the phrase, "Our first tram train interchange." Government website Victoria's Big Build describes it as Melbourne's first direct tram train interchange. And MP for Sunbury, Josh Bull, goes one step further, calling it Melbourne's first ever direct tram
Oh,
train
God.
interchange. So, are any of these correct? Well, no, but some of them are wronger than others. Without the distinctions I added in my definition about crossing traffic lanes and integration with station design, there are loads of other places around Melbourne that are tram-train interchanges, and some you could maybe even describe as direct tram-train interchanges. So it's kind of a meaningless distinction without those caveats. The other part of these
All
words
right.
is that they all say first or first ever, and that's not true.
Yeah, that's
Some
definitely
towns
not true.
had railway-operated tram lines departing from immediately outside their station
Yep,
buildings,
I
with
remember
no
them
crossings
train.
until the 1950s. I've saved the best one for last though. Our new favourite centralised transport agency, Transport Victoria, posted that this is none other than Australia's first tram and train interchange.
Oh, for God's sake!
Not
Stop
close.
using the wrong
There's a long list of
words.
historic ones and several very notable current examples. Sydney Central might be the most obvious one, where trams run through the entrance to the station concourse. Then there's Newcastle Interchange, very much an integrated direct connection, and there's Helensvale on the Gold Coast, with a
Yep.
direct pedestrian route between 2 island platforms, just like Anzac. That took 65 seconds, by the way. Not bad, though I did just miss the train, which would make it a 21-minute connection on the current timetable. The other, and I think much cooler distinguishing fact about Anzac, is that it's the southernmost underground railway station in the world. I mentioned this in a video once before when I wasn't actually 100% sure if I was right, but I am now 100% sure it's correct, and I'd like to give a special shout out to the numerous people who told me I was wrong because there are underground stations in Auckland. Auckland is not south of Melbourne, guys. It's roughly level with central Victoria. A few other people also quoted another Kiwi station, the
Oh,
400
interesting. I
Central,
did not
which
know
is
that.
a bit of
That's interesting. So Auckland's a little further north than Melbourne. Oh, wait a minute. If Auckland's a little more north than Melbourne, why the fuck do we get 40 degrees and they don't? You know the answer to that, obviously. It's got a giant desert, but still. I didn't know that, guys. I always thought Auckland was actually further south than Melbourne. That's kind of nice to know.
very close if it still existed, but it was also about 5 kilometers further north than Anzac. Okay, I'm done correcting.
Oh, not by
Let's have a look at the
much.
station. Aesthetically, I love the canopy. I think it's one of the more interesting visual features on the line.
Yeah,
Functionally, though, it
definitely
doesn't
did a
actually provide much
good job
shelter.
on
There's
that.
a kind of modern obsession with shelters being really high up and only covering part of the platform, which misses the sort of sheltering part. This is compounded by the fact that southbound trams stop all the way down there. So there's actually a pretty long unsheltered walk when interchanging. If you want to see how to actually shelter a platform, please see somewhere like Hawthorne. They really knew how to do this in the 19th century. Down under
Yeah.
the canopy, I really have no complaints. This might be my favourite spot at any of the stations.
Oh, that
It's
looks
really
really
well built with
nice.
natural light. The green columns and exposed timber are a refreshing change from the concrete and grey walls that dominate a lot of the other spaces, and I
Yep.
do like how you can clearly hear the trams up above. Something that's changed since my earlier visits to the tunnel are these signs. The parts which previously said way out in very small text have been replaced by these exit numbers, and the bottom part has been replaced to show the general direction of trams, suggesting the best exit for trams to the city and trams to the suburbs.
Oh,
I
yeah, it's
like
definitely
visual
better.
directions like this, but I hate how small they are. I I don't think the numbered exits are something that will catch on easily in public language, and I'd much prefer to see the prominence of these reversed. The tram directions are far more important to see at a glance than exit numbers. As well as
Yeah.
the big central entrance, Anzac has a pedestrian subway with additional entrances either side of St Kilda Road, and they have some very cool circular lift shafts. When I got into the lift at the western end, I was a bit surprised to see two separate street levels. Turns out there's one for the little reserve towards Albert Road, then there's a little half level up to an exit on St Kilda Road on the eastern side. There's also a separate goods lift here, and I think it's cool how they went with a more basic square design to help differentiate it from the passenger lift. And also the clear and accurate labelling using the word goods, which has sort of been out of favour on the railways for many years, being replaced by the more American term freight. Just to be clear for anyone
Okay.
wondering, there's no goods travelling by train here. The goods lift is just to get supplies to the shops down on the concourse. There's a whole bunch of unsheltered and unsecured bike racks here, currently empty. I feel like there won't be a large demand for bike parking this close to the city. If you're this close already, you'll probably just ride the whole way, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. We shall see. Heading back in, we're going down the escalator, and both the smaller entrances at Anzac have this steel structure painted Anzac green, which again I think looks really good and distinctive. The underpass at this end features a long mural on both sides called Future Wall Painting by Russell.
Wow, it looks really nice. I like
The
it.
fact it's cut in half by this massive and very bright advertising screen. You don't see this in any of the official photos. It does appear in some of the renders, but always has strategically placed people blocking the view. I know I laid into this a bit in the opening day video, but I am genuinely shocked about how prominent the advertising screens are at all the Metro tunnel stations. Like, they're really the first thing that catches your attention at most of the entrances, well before you see anything like train information. I'm well aware these things bring in a lot of money, but making money is not the purpose of this place. I do have more thoughts on this, but we're going to be seeing a lot more advertising as we work through the stations, so we'll come back to it. Near the centre of the concourse is a 7-Eleven with a special custom artwork showing a 7-Eleven livery Extrapolis. That's actually kind of cool. At the eastern end of the concourse, there are, guess what, more very bright advertising screens. They do occasionally show transport-related messaging as part of their cycle, but it's mostly ads. At the far end, there's the other circular lift, and what I think might be one of my favourite artworks in the tunnel, Plants for Remembrance by Fiona Hall. This station is located a short distance from the Shrine of Remembrance, and the name Anzac refers to the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. Apparently, Anzac should be written capitalised when referring to the Corps itself, but lowercase, as used in the station name, is the accepted practice for the word's more general use relating to the armed forces. The plants depicted here are ones with symbolic connections to Australia's military service, and I think the low-key colours of this artwork fit the surroundings really well. Either side of the lift are a couple more artworks, also by Fiona Hall, depicting some carrier pigeons, and they're actually representations of two specific carrier pigeons. I think that's
Okay.
pretty cool, so I'm actually going to read out the captions on the plaques here. DD-43Q879 was a Victorian-bred carrier pigeon who served with the Australian Army Signal Corps and Allied American forces on Manus Island during the Second World War. On 5th of April 1944, during a Japanese attack on a US Marine Corps patrol, DD-43Q879 was one of 3 pigeons released under heavy fire to carry a message back to base warning of an imminent enemy counterattack. The first 2 pigeons were shot down immediately. DD-43Q879 was released in a final attempt to successfully get the message through and, despite also coming under fire, managed to fly more than 40 kilometers to base in 47 minutes. Upon receiving the information, the Allied forces were able to mount a successful defense against the Japanese military attack. DD-43Q879 was awarded the Dickon Medal, which is the Victoria Cross equivalent for animals given in recognition of outstanding duty.
Interesting.
Over here we have DD-43T139, who was a Victorian-bred carrier pigeon who served in New Guinea with the Australian Army Signal Corps during the Second World War. On 12th of July 1945, he flew
Oh, it's near the end of it.
with a message from a foundering army boat to Madang, taking 50 minutes to fly the 64-kilometre distance. The hastily written message read, "Engine failed. Wash onto beach at Wadu owing very heavy seas. Send help immediately. And rapidly filling with sand." Successful delivery of the information enabled the boat and its valuable cargo of equipment and ammunition to be salvaged. DD-43T139 had previously flown 23 operational missions.
That's a lot of missions. I like how he actually talks about everything. This is really good to watch.
Animals given in recognition of outstanding duty. These are honestly the best pigeon-related stories I've ever seen at any Victorian railway station. Really cool. Quick side note, I couldn't find any information on how the naming of these pigeons work. I'm assuming the 43 is either the year of hatching or year of enlistment, and the last part is probably just a unique number. If anyone knows what the letters mean, please do let us know. The lift at this end also has 3 levels, but one of them is just a top-secret basement. The screen inside displays a custom slideshow, but of the wrong station. That's Arden. This is made slightly funnier by the fact that there aren't any lifts at Arden with screens like this. I checked, so it really does seem like this was made specifically for this lift using the wrong pictures. The top of this lift is a standalone structure on the edge of the park. and I
That's
think
kind of an
some
interesting looking.
lift entrances list.
That's a funny looking lift. It looks like one of those little police station thingies. I don't know, it's just
Very
me.
cool design. Just near this entrance onto Main Road is another tram stop, currently only served by buses. Trams were temporarily diverted away from this line several years ago to allow for the construction of Anzac, and while the track connection was reinstated and this new stop built, there's still no clear plan to return trams to this road, and it's still disconnected at the other end of the diversion.
Oh,
That's starting
God.
to get a bit weird now, with how much effort has gone into retaining the connection and stop at this end. For now, it's a mystery. Heading back down the stairs,
That probably
you can
means
see
they're
this
doing.
entrance
They're
is
going to be
very similar
thinking.
to the other green
They're
steel
probably
frame.
going to fix it up.
As we get back down to concourse level, we get blinded by the advertising again. It's actually hard to articulate just how bright these screens are. You can see it's overexposing a little on camera, but they really do seem a lot brighter than I'd normally expect for something like this. For the
Yeah, they
actual
don't need to be that
screens,
bright.
the train information, you have to walk all the way to the barriers, and the small text on small screens means you have to walk right up to them. When I'm walking into a railway station, the number one thing I actually want to see is minutes to departure, to see how quickly I need to walk the remaining distance to the platform. And that's the smallest thing on these displays. Honestly, I'd prefer to see something like this. The platform number isn't super critical at this point, as the route to both platforms is the same, and I can work out which side
I don't like that at all, guys.
These signs, which, as I mentioned in my last video, I am very grateful have now been included, as there was no clear signage here initially. Down on the platform, we spot the first examples of a series of artworks that appear across all 5 stations, called traps. Get it? by First Nations artist Marie Clark. The tracks are mosaics of coloured granite assembled by hand and depict footprints of native animals found across the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation, encompassing Melbourne and a large part of central Victoria. This particular footprint at Anzac is that of a southern bent-wing bat, and there are 7 different footprints at each of the 5 stations, making for 35 different feet.
That makes sense, I
It's
guess.
far too long to identify these. There's no list of them on any of the official web pages or pamphlets about the artwork. The stations do have small signs listing them, but they're kind of hard to find. Given there doesn't appear to be any complete reference for these online, I decided to make my own PDF guide, which you're welcome to download or print if you want to go footprint hunting. Link down below.
Maybe one
The
day.
tunnel stations are designed to accommodate 10-car trains, but at the moment all the trains are 7 cars. So they stop at the far end of each platform, leaving a large section at each end that currently does nothing in particular. And
Oh,
the thing
God.
is that those end sections are already fitted out with platform screen doors. The only indication that these doors aren't in use is this stickering to tell you to move further down the platform, but I don't think this is nearly obvious enough, and it could just be interpreted as indicating the direction trains are travelling. I did spot this one example at State Library displaying a red light over the door, but it's the only one I saw like that. Some of the out-of-use doors also have functioning PIDs over the top of them, which really makes them look in use. By contrast, some of the doors that are in use don't have PIDs, and I can absolutely see people standing by these doors waiting to board if they're not 100% paying attention. It seems like this actually has been a problem already, as I've noticed staff making a lot of announcements reminding people that not all doors are in use. Not exactly a sustainable way of managing this situation. It's kind of weird that the setup here looks like they're preparing to start 10-car operation any day now. But to be clear, this is not happening anytime soon. The additional cars required to extend the trains have not been ordered, and none of the other platforms on the route outside the tunnel have been extended yet, so I'd expect this to be something that's at least a decade away, maybe more. I really think they should have made these not look like doors at all, maybe even sticker this bit to look like a wall to completely avoid confusion. In one of my previous videos, I pointed out that at least some of the trains were not fully level with the platform height, and I had a few people saying I was being silly for focusing on such a small detail when it looks pretty close to level. To be absolutely clear, I'm well aware that this is a tiny height difference compared to most other stations on the network, but these are brand new stations with custom designed trains, so they should be very close to dead level. By my understanding, the legal specification for unassisted level boarding is a height variance of no more than 12 millimeters. I know it's really hard to judge this sort of thing by eye on camera, but have a look at this. This is car 9914, and let's check the first door. Bit of a bump, not too bad. Second door, bit more of a bump. You can see the top of these holes in the rubber gap filler. The middle of those holes is about 50 mil from the top, so we're looking at roughly a 40 to 45 mil height difference there from the platform. Spec is 12 mil, remember? Then the third door, this one's actually pretty good, which illustrates something very interesting, which is a definite height difference between different doors on the same car. I checked this across quite a few different examples, and a lot of them have the middle door noticeably higher than the 2 end doors, which suggests one thing, and that's a very slightly banana-shaped frame. Banana-shaped passenger cars were very common back when passenger cars were made of wood, so it's great to see a continuation of this Victorian Railways tradition. Each platform screen door has markings in the tiles showing where the doorway is, and an arrow showing where passengers will walk out. The purpose of this type of marking is to encourage boarding passengers to wait either side of the doorway, not in the middle. But they've kind of missed part 2 of this, which is the arrows on the sides. Most systems around the world which have platform screen doors have some version of this, and they're almost always high visibility with arrows showing positions for both directions. Here's an example in Hong Kong. In fact, the position of the doors in general is very low visibility. They don't immediately jump out from the rest of the glass wall. I think I would have made these columns yellow, or possibly the doors themselves. We're just about ready to head to the next station, but here's a dingo footprint. And Anti-Kindness. Right, let's go. Incidentally, this train is HCMT set number 2, the exact same one that ran the first train into the tunnel on opening day, and this was actually the second time since opening I'd coincidentally got set 2 in the tunnel. Given there are 70 of these trains, that's quite a coincidence, so I assume it's been rostered on these shuttles the whole time. Right, here we are at Town Hall, and first things first...
Of course.
This is what the platypus footprint looks like. Something we noticed here was a new type of platform sign, which appears to be replacing the older ones installed at the stations. This one has a matte finish. Compare that to this example of the original type at Arden, which is reflective and quite hard to see from some angles. And it's also had the treatment of the exit numbers replacing the very small way out text. Similar to earlier, I'd prefer to see the actual destinations of these exits given more prominence over the fairly meaningless numbers, but overall the design is better and the matte finish is way more user-friendly. Wombat. At the southern end of the platform is really the only place that still looks incomplete on any of the platforms, that being the stairs towards the Federation Square exit, which currently looks like this at ground level and will apparently be completed later in 2026. This footprint had me genuinely stumped.
So not completely done yet. They're still doing little fixes.
I touched on this in the opening day video, but I do find it quite annoying that there is no train information at all in this central hall area. You have to duck into the alcoves along the platforms to see the PIDs, and even then they're spaced quite far apart. If only they could have found space for some sort of large screen displaying relevant information in here, maybe hanging from the ceiling. Anyway, just an idea. Apart from the lack of information, I do really like this. Hold on, another footprint. This one is a thylacine, Tasmanian tiger. A lot of people probably aren't aware of this, but thylacines did exist on the mainland historically, before ultimately existing only in Tasmania, and then, of course, nowhere. And over here we have a Ricali, the native water rat. Alright, let's go upstairs and check out ground level. The massive advertising screen in the crypt is now more complete than on my last visit, and was actually turned on displaying black, causing this annoying flicker on camera. Something a few people pointed out is that the signage for the escalators here is static, even though the escalators are usually down on one side and up on the other, so half of these signs will always be wrong. Cool. This is an especially odd choice given Melbourne Central just received these new variable signs showing escalator direction. Over the Collins Street entrance...
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Just according to the weather, and it'll be interesting to see how
Oh yeah, so I'll probably finish up with this one, guys, this video.
It's not, it's an artwork and it actually
There's still other things I want to do, so I'll have to do more as the channel slowly grows up.
To be honest, I don't have any strong feelings about it. It's a bit grey and there's not much shade.
So I'm going to focus more on like smaller videos when I do them off camera. And focus on these bigger ones on stream.
really do like about this spot is the choice of planting, with native Victorian species including these wonderful grass trees. One of few plants I can remember the scientific name for, Xanthorrhea. Most grass trees are very well adapted to surviving bushfires, to the extent that they actually like being on fire. It encourages them to flower. You can see all these ones have blackened trunks, and assuming they're not from the wild, I'd say it's very likely they were set on fire intentionally by whoever grew them. Another cool thing about these, and it's a little hard to see here, but the flower stems have a lot more flowers on the north side where they get more sun. That's the south side there, and that's the north, with a much more even flower covering. Back down in the crypt, I noticed something interesting. In earlier videos, I stated that these orange ceiling beams only exist within the paid areas of the station, but we're outside the paid area here, and there's a small patch of orange beams. I'm not sure if there are any others like this. Heading back down the escalators, I was hit by a sudden impulse to change my energy provider. Did you know AGL has been trusted by Australians for over 185 years? Also, I really need to do some shopping on the way home. I haven't
Oh,
got enough
God.
today. And did you know there's a festive cashback and exclusive perks in the NAB app? Armed with those facts, it was back down to platform level, and then
Oh, boy.
to check out the Flinders Street End concourse, where I squinted at this tiny bid to see the next train heading north was still 15
That's
minutes away.
terrible.
If only there was a bigger screen around here somewhere. Heading back down, I was briefly able to check the weather and consider how 22 degrees was the perfect temperature for signing up to AGL. In the platform alcoves, it's quite nice how the concrete ceiling is illuminated. with
Really
orange
into
light.
the
It would've been
AGL,
nice
aren't
if there
they?
were more of the plain concrete surfaces around the station. This one's a frog. It doesn't say what type. Alright, next station.
I'm curious how they get the train still go there perfectly.
On arrival at State Library, I quickly found an echidna footprint, and one I actually recognised, a kangaroo. I quite like these main central caverns at State Library and Town Hall. I like the lights, I like the orange arches, but I do have a major objection, and I think most of you know what it is. These two stations are basically identical at platform level. I think it was such a missed opportunity not to have any real visual distinction, and I think it shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how people navigate their everyday surroundings. These stations are designed so that your primary, or even only way of knowing where you are is by reading signs and listening to announcements. But that should never be the main way you identify a major city location like this. The displays and announcements on the trains are not really reliable enough to rely on entirely, and if you're expecting passengers to identify stations by the platform signs, well, you'd better hope they're standing in the right doorway. Here's the view from one doorway at Anzac, and there's one sign over there, which not everybody would be able to read, and the only other one in my field of vision is over there. While the two CBD stations are virtually identical at platform level, the same goes for the 3 minor stations. Which one is this? One of the beautiful things about using public transport compared to driving is that you don't have to pay attention to what's going on 100% of the time. It's okay to daydream out the window while listening to music or a podcast or mentally ranking railway lines, and the way you normally know when to get off is when the place you're going to appears in your field of view. No reading or listening out required. The 3 underground stations in the city loop are all really visually distinct. It's effortless to tell the difference between them without paying attention to any signs or announcements, and that was a deliberate design choice. It seems like there was some move towards having a distinct colour for each Metro Tunnel station. We've already seen the green at Anzac, but that's the only station where it appears extensively. Parkville has a blue version, but it only appears on the minor secondary entrances. State Library has this lovely red colour on the Franklin Street entrance, and usefully this services building, but nowhere else. Town Hall's Fed Square entrance is going to be purple, but I haven't seen purple anywhere else. And Arden... Actually, I don't think Arden has a colour at all. Town Hall should absolutely have been yellow, by the way. It would have fitted in with the surroundings so much better. So it seems an attempt was made with colour coding, but that distinction didn't carry down to where it would have been most useful, at platform level. A friend of mine actually had a casual discussion about this with a staff member who commented that at least the stations are visually distinct when you're driving past. And I don't even know where to start with that one, but it does seem like that was the attitude of the design process here, thinking about the stations as something you would go past at ground level rather than arrive at underground. I really wish they'd run with the distinct colours and use them instead of the orange at platform level, and it would have been really easy to extend that colour coding to other features. You could run a strip of coloured LEDs along that part of the tunnel wall, for instance. I'm someone with a pretty good sense of direction who knows Melbourne and in fact this tunnel really well, but I've already had moments at these stations where I can't immediately recall which station I'm currently at, or have had to
Yeah,
think
that's
about
an issue. I
which
mean,
station
I'd rather know where I am.
with anything visual in my mind. In this shot, I only know I'm at Town Hall because of the order I shot the footage in. Except that was a lie, and this is State Library, but could you tell? The fact remains, I'm foreseeing a future nightmare of trying to identify the locations of pictures and video that contain no identifying features. Honestly, everyone's going to need to learn to identify those footprints if they want any chance of knowing where they are. This one's an emu, by the way. Okay, I'm done complaining about that. Let's get out of State Library and head up to the Swanston Street entrance. Actually, wait, no, this is Town Hall again. This is State Library heading up to the Swanston Street entrance. Right, so we're up on Swanston Street, busiest tram corridor in the world, and recognise this guy? That's D1 3520, the same tram we saw arriving at Anzac earlier in the day. I quite like coming down this entrance, it feels quite grand, and it's also a much better way of getting into Melbourne Central than the traditional entrance across the road. Danny Mellor's artwork looks great with the backlighting, although I was quickly distracted from that by an overwhelming urge to receive festive cashbacks and exclusive perks.
Oh boy.
Right. Oh yeah, just in case anyone's watching this video in the future and thinks I'm fair evading, I filmed this on a Sunday in December when it was free weekend travel in the lead up to the full Metro Tunnel opening. Back down on the platforms, I noticed this.
Yeah, it's free for the time being.
Town Hall has one of these. That could be another distinctive characteristic. And I made an updated recording of the Talking Brick. Something I've noticed in all the information since my earlier visits is that these trains were originally described as being via Town Hall.
Via Town Hall.
But have since been changed to via the Metro Tunnel.
Via the Metro Tunnel.
I can sort of see why they do this right now, but I hope they change it back to via Town Hall long term. I think that's better. Okay, goodbye State Library. Hello Parkville.
Oh, Parkville.
Just quickly, this is car 9825. First door, pretty good. Middle door, getting close to the 50 mil mark. Third door, pretty good. Sugar glider. So a cool thing about Parkville is that despite being quite a deep station, in the middle of the day in summer, some sunlight does reach the platform.
Goodness
Really
gracious.
nice. It's hard to emphasize how nice this is, actually. Because it will only happen at certain times, it'll be a nice little surprise for people to spot, and even just this small patch of natural light really lifts the feeling of the station for me, giving a very tangible connection to the above-ground world. Riding up the escalators, it's a genuinely beautiful moment that draws your eye up to the lofty station canopy. Great time to sign up to AGL, by the way, and it gives you a real impression of how deep you are.
Oh my
below sea level.
god, with
The
your
concourse has become
AGL.
populated with shops since my last visit, and yeah, I know I'm not the first person to say this, but it's a very underwhelming selection of mostly multinational-owned fast food options. Particularly ironic given this is a hospital district. Given this is Melbourne, I'd really like to see a proper cafe here. There is going to be an IGA at least, so that's something useful. In addition to the main entrance, there are 3 smaller entrances at the eastern end, giving grade-separated access under Royal Parade to the hospitals, and partially grade-separated access to tram route 19. You still have to cross a couple of lanes of traffic to get to the stops. This is the view coming up the main Royal Parade exit, and you can see it's the same design as the smaller Anzac entrances, just with Parkville blue instead of green. And as I
Goodness gracious.
the blue only appears on the minor entrances and not the main one. On the
Oh,
south side of the
sorry
entrance,
guys, my
you'll
ass is getting
find
sore.
and an old piece of Melbourne uni fencing. All the entrances here have a separate
Oh
sign
man,
that
there's a
says
lot of
Garden
interesting
Street,
information.
that's the
So
main
much
entrance
for
down
me.
there. Then there's the Royal Parade
That's why you don't hear me like
entrance,
talking too
hospital
much, because I'm
entrances
just
there,
trying to.
and
So yeah, I haven't even been on this line
the
myself,
box things on
so
Melbourne Street are the station skylights, and it's a bit awkward
I
because
might
you can't
wait
see down
until
through
like
the concourse.
February, which is
They're
about a
very
month
good height
away.
sitting on, but if you're going to do that, just consider that you can see through them in the other direction too. I really like this main entrance structure. It reminds me of a big glass house or conservatory, and this is where the light was coming from. We could see down on the platform. I do think it's weird and inconsistent that the steel structure inside this is grey and not blue like the other entrances. I also wish they leaned more heavily into the whole conservatory thing and filled it with plants. Like, seriously, how incredibly cool would this look with a bunch of hanging ferns in it? Grattan Street doesn't have much road traffic, and it was fully closed for several years during the construction phase. I think they should have kept it that way and made it pedestrianised, or at the very least, bus only. The set down from the main entrance is very cool, and looks particularly good at this time of day with all the sun shining in. Patricia Piccinini's massive ceramic mural dominates the north wall, and it's a nice contrast to some of the other station entrances being welcomed by art rather than advertising. The
I like the lights. The lights look really nice. Look at that 7-Eleven.
This is not the station you'd use to get there. This koala has clearly been forced to buy a 7-Eleven coffee due to the lack of other options. Realising the next train was now, and not wanting to spend another 20 minutes here, I barely had time to contemplate Woolworth's everyday rewards or analyse train platform interface discrepancies before jumping on a train to the final tunnel station of Arden.
Alright.
Which was the only metro tunnel station I didn't manage to visit before it opened. That was a big one, by the way, middle door of 9369. Hopping Mouse. As mentioned earlier, Arden still has the shiny way out signs, and it'll be interesting to see if these get replaced soon. Qual. So the thing that's very cool about Arden is that it's by far the shallowest of the 5 stations. There are several large skylights up above the concourse, and this leads to a lot of sunlight making it down to platform level. Certainly a lot more than that small patch at Parkville, and it would also be reaching down here for a much longer part of the day. It's really nice, and something I wasn't expecting to see anywhere in the tunnel. The sunlight when it's here is also a good identifying feature, because once again, if you're trying to work out this location from the signs, there's one there I can almost read, and then there. The stations were named by public competition back in, I think, 2017, and the name chosen from that competition for this station was actually North Melbourne, taking that name from the existing North Melbourne, which would have been renamed West Melbourne in the process. This would have correctly aligned the 2 station names with the suburbs they are located in, but lots of people, including the emergency services, quickly pointed out that reusing a well-known station name in a slightly different location was actually a terrible idea. So they reverted to the working title for this station of Arden, named after the nearby, although not immediately adjacent, Arden Street. I quite like the name Arden, and it does follow the age-old Victorian Railways tradition of naming a station after a nearby street, then removing the street part. Westgarth, Bell, and Burnley are all examples of this. However, this choice
Okay, I did not know that.
not a huge
That's
fan,
interesting.
and I'm aware this is not the biggest problem in the world, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think it was a bad decision to have 2 of the stations being 5-letter words starting with A. It makes them harder to differentiate from a distance, especially for anyone with poor vision, and it's very easy to mistake them when reading. I've already had a couple of situations where I quickly read a sentence about one of these stations and my mental autocomplete interpreted it as the wrong one. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this is the reason for the wrong slideshow showing.
You gotta make sure you get it
Also,
right.
If I'm traveling in a country where I don't speak the language, I'll generally know the approximate length and first letter of wherever I'm trying to go without necessarily being able to remember how it's actually spelt. So having 2 very similar stations on the same route either side of the CBD which have very similarly formed names has a lot of potential for confusion. I don't think this is a huge problem, but there were multiple choices for both station names. Some other options for Anzac were Shrine or the historic name for that location, Domain. So it would have been pretty easy to choose one of those and avoid the clash. Arden is the only one of the 5 stations to have just a single entrance, but it makes up for it in being one of the most dramatic ones, with these quite amazing brick arches curving over the top of the concourse and escalators. The interesting thing about this station right now is that there actually isn't much here. There is a major urban development planned for this area, so it will be a very busy place one day, but right now the station building sticks out of a fairly barren landscape, and the skylights along the station concourse are just in the middle of a field. The west side of the station building is quite plain. I'm guessing that in the long term it won't be visible amongst the other stuff that will be built here. But the eastern side features a massive and quite striking artwork by Abdul Abdallah. The background is a mosaic recreating a painting by J.S. Calder from 1860.
And I don't think they're completely finished with it all. I think there's still a lot of work.
If we look closely at the original painting, it shows a Williamstown line train crossing over water on a long causeway, approximately where the Moonee Ponds Creek Bridge is today. I never knew it looked like that. The modern-day site of Arden would be somewhere in the mid-foreground of the image. You can't really make out that specific detail in the mosaic representation, but I still really like this. Even though the area around the station feels very bare at the moment, there have been a lot of trees planted, and we can get some idea of what this will feel like with this view from Lawrence Street, which already has mature trees. Exiting the station is a sign pointing to buses 90 metres away, but as far as I can tell, this is not currently true. The bus stop on Lawrence Street is not in use, and I can't see anything else within that distance. The Big Build website says new bus on Lawrence Street, but nothing else. The archway through the building is on about an 18-degree angle relative to the square part. This is because the archway is aligned with the platforms below, while the rest of the building is aligned with the street grid. Heading back underground, it's worth taking a moment to sit back and fully appreciate the soundscape of this escalator.
True.
Just near the base of the escalators is this very interesting historic artifact. It's a sandstone plaque reading G&MR 1857. This is a relic of the Geelong and Melbourne Railway Company, who built the line between Newport and Geelong in the 1850s. This plaque was mounted on the station building at Werribee when the line opened in 1857, but was removed when that building was severely damaged by a fire in 1927. The G&MR didn't exist by that point. They only ran trains for 3 years before being bought out by the Victorian Railways in 1860. Same year that painting was done. But after the fire, the plaque was moved to a railway building at the Victorian Railways Arden Street sidings, which once occupied the space where Arden Station now stands. It remained attached to that building, visible from Lawrence Street, right up until mid-2017. There it is, when the building was demolished to make way for the station construction. Fortunately, the plaque was safely stored and installed where we see it now, in its third railway location in its 169-year history. So while the G&MR had no historic connection to this location, the plaque itself certainly does, having been in the Arden area for almost a century. Just quickly, I made a video about the G&MR a while back. It's almost entirely animated and I had a lot of fun with it. It's also what I drew that banana graphic for originally. Please go watch it if you haven't already. Thanks. Information. Summer delivered in under 2 hours. While the summer start timetable obviously gives the tunnel pretty limited usefulness for the time being, it was nice to see a lot of people at most of the stations, particularly as we got towards afternoon. The vast majority of people appeared to be doing exactly what I was doing, wandering around just looking at the stations, and it was a really varied demographic spread across all ages. In a previous video, I said I thought the summer start was a perfectly reasonable way to transition the tunnel into full operation, but now I've actually experienced it firsthand, I'm not quite so sure about that. The reason for the limited operating hours and very low frequency hasn't been communicated well, and I think a lot of people are taking what they see at face value and wondering why they have to wait 19 minutes for a train at their brand new city station, or wondering why they can't get a train at all at 8 AM in the morning. I don't necessarily have an answer for how to do a transition better, if a transition period was even needed at all, but I don't think this was a great way to do it. It's really not showing the public what this tunnel can actually do. I'm recording this voiceover with just 1 month to go until the big switch, and as I mentioned earlier, we still don't really know what we can expect from the full timetable. I don't think there's many transport agencies in the world who would be keeping such a significant change secret just 4 weeks before it goes live. One last little observation before we leave Arden. As you probably all know by now, these doors on the platform are called platform screen doors, usually abbreviated as PSDs. I heard one announcement telling people to keep clear of the PSD doors. The D already stands for door, and I heard 2 other announcements calling them passenger screen doors. Terminological inaccuracies aside, I actually don't think any of this terminology should be used in announcements. Platform screen door is an internal technical term. You can just call them doors. People will know what you mean when you say stand clear of the doors. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this slightly deeper dive into the Metro Tunnel as it
Alright,
stands
cool.
at the beginning of 2026. For the
Shit.
things I've been critical of in this video, I tried to stick to relatively minor issues that could be fixed or improved if the will exists to do so.
I didn't
Since
realise
it
that was
such a massive
done.
project, it wouldn't be that hard or expensive to extend station color coding, make sure a platform sign can be seen from every doorway, or turn down the brightness on the advertising screens, though my even more radical suggestion would be repurposing the large ones for video art. Hopefully in my next Metro Tunnel video, we'll be able to look at the big switch timetable and see what kind of surface we're actually getting out of all this.
Yeah, that'd be good to see, guys. I want to see what happens. How long have we been on for? About an hour. Okay, guys. Now, I know the channel's going to take a while to get, like, growing, especially considering it kept crashing at one point. Running smoothly today. We're going to do one more thing, and probably just watch a, actually maybe 2 videos. They only go for about 20 minutes together, so yeah. Well, so here we go. Hopefully we can get this channel back off the ground, guys. Arrest the trader. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at my I've done a video of Chris. Forgot his last name. Yeah, Chris, and yeah, a lot of people agree with him. I agree with what I said as well. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more of that kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing that right now, actually, with the this dude. Let's go and find him. I'm hoping I still got him on here. All right. Apparently, we've become a police state, so this is going to be interesting.
Police.
All right, so we'll leave it for we'll do 2 of them. Next time we come on, guys, I'll probably do some Chris dude, the Chris dude. So that'll be about 3 days away. So that'll be on, let's say today's Thursday. So I'll probably so it'll be Thursday, Friday, probably Saturday or Sunday. All right, guys, let's see. Apparently, Australia's a police state, so let's go and watch this.
In Australia are now going to people's homes to allegedly question them about things that they've posted on social media.
Who's that?
Just the police, mate. How you going?
Good. What's your problem?
Oh, I don't have a problem. I just want to speak to Michael. Is that you?
Yeah, why?
I just want to come and speak to you about a few things we've it's come to our attention that may have been posted on social
Well,
media.
I really don't care. I've got the right to freedom of speech. You can bugger off.
Absolutely. All
Okay?
right. Do you
See
want
ya.
Okay, mate.
Now, a lot of people are saying that that is fake, that's not real. And I watched that very closely then to see if I could find anything that perhaps, you know, gave.
Yeah. I don't know. If you said that in real life, I think the police will arrest you on the spot. Yeah, it looks fake. But I could be wrong. I think it's fake. And I don't think anyone would be actually that rude. I mean, if people are like that, yeah, I would. Being rude is not going to help your case.
Gave me the impression that that was faked. The dude had a fucking gun. I don't think it's faked, but that has been doing the rounds all week online, and it is absolutely astonishing to see how many people are blown away by seeing something like that, knowing that the police can come to your house and talk
Oh,
to
definitely.
you, interview you, and possibly even arrest you, like we've seen in the UK, just based on what you post online. Now, obviously, if you're posting really awful shit like you're threatening someone, then yeah, okay, I understand why the police might turn up and arrest you.
Yeah, that I understand.
Apparently, allegedly, what this man actually posted about was something that was anti-Israel. And now, since the Bondi shooting, Australia's cracking down on anti-Semitism, whatever that happens to mean, and he's having the police show up because he questioned something about Israel. I think, and it's pretty obvious from everything I've ever posted, listen, I'm not pro-Israel, I'm not anti-Israel, I'm not pro-Gaza, pro-Palestinian, nothing. I'm not pro anyone, I'm hardly pro myself. Point being, we should be able to post whatever the fuck we want. We should have opinions that happen to be offensive to other people. This is a country that should be free, but it's not. I discovered this
Of
last
course
week
not.
in a video that I made. You can watch it now on YouTube. All about free speech. And
Come on,
Australia's
it's-
really trying to, well, stop people's free speech because
That's
it
why.
allegedly harms multiculturalism.
I recognise, and I've fully said from the beginning, that we don't have the same freedom of speech laws that they have in the United States. And the reason for that is that we want to hold together our multicultural community and have people live in peace, free from the kind of vilification
No, I'll wrap up. Sorry, that sounds like shit.
and hatred that we do see around the world.
And ladies and gents,
No. Free speech. There's nothing wrong with free speech as long as you're still not doing it. As long as you're not calling the violence and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people I don't like and stuff like that. I mean, Jesus. I get a bit pissed off and I lose the train of thought. My train of thought always forgets me. I always lose it. Because, yeah, like right now, I'm losing it.
Before we go any further, my stand-up comedy special is
I'm
now
not a
on
big fan of
YouTube.
it.
Check it out right here.
I'd rather
The
have
top 20
the
YouTube
freedom of
videos all
speech as
about
long as you're not
ladies and
hatred.
gentlemen, we know very, very well that Australia has lost the fucking plot since the Bondi shooting. Now, this is just my opinion, but
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
seen this happen time and time again. Anytime there's a terrorist attack or a horrible atrocity, something awful happens, people's civil liberties change forever, and those laws are never repealed, they're never changed, and forever you have lost those freedoms, and that is what we are seeing here. We will see more and more people visited by the police. We will see more and more people go, hang on a second, why can't I say that? Why can't I do this? I thought this was a free country. It's not. We need to do something about it, and it is my goal to start a petition to enshrine freedom of speech in our constitution, but that's a story for another time. Now, that video with old mate at the front door with the police, and this isn't shitting on the police, ladies and gentlemen, okay? You've got an impossible job. I'm not having to go at police. Big fan of police on this channel, etc., etc. But we have seen a lot of examples of police officers potentially.
Yeah, and that's also the other thing I have an issue with. Not so much the police. The police are doing their job, as he said. They do a good job for the most part. Yeah, I think this is a totally waste of their time. So they could be doing other things, more important things, hunting more criminals who are actually worth being hunted. I mean, I hate how they go after the people who do the best things, because I've got a mate, she does the best thing in the world. She does so much for her family, and she always gets shit on by the law. And it pisses me off in the end. Goodness gracious. My mum's ringing me. All right, we're back, Gary. Sorry about that. Well, I left the door open, but apparently not. Let's get back to it.
Actually, having new directions given to them and not knowing really what to do with them. Take this one, for example.
There are material that appears to be anti-Semitic. What's anti-Semitic material? Well, there's a small watermelon.
Did you see that look that copper gave then? He doesn't want to be doing that shit. Now, that small watermelon represents Palestine, obviously, and a lot of people have those watermelons in their Instagram bios or whatever. It's usually just above their giant tits, which take up the majority of their content. Point being, this is the type of shit that you can get in trouble for. Now, I don't
Apparently.
think you should ever be in trouble for these type of things. The police should be there, and this is why people join the police. This is what they get up and do every day. They should be there to protect the community, not instill fear because people are worried about what they can and cannot say. You should be able to have as many fucking little watermelons as you want. You should be able to criticize Israel. You should be able to criticize Palestine. You should be able to criticize anyone. I think most people who are either Israeli or have a connection to Israel, whatever, or even Jewish people would agree with me that you should be able to absolutely criticize Israel, and people should be able to debate you, and that's the whole point of a free society. As I get a cramp in my fucking hamstring. I don't know. I just hate it. I hate that we can't speak freely in this country. It does my fucking head in. I worry what this does to stand-up comedy. I worry what this does to online content. I worry what this does to the children that we're all, that millennials.
Oh,
have.
yeah, that would
They
be
grow up in a world where they know nothing of freedom of speech. They live in a world that the government decides what you can and cannot speak about, and that is awful. I am
Yeah, I
very
definitely agree. I
much
mean,
a free speech absolutist. I think you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want, okay? As
Yeah,
long as
good.
It doesn't call for the harm of anyone. On the topic of
Yeah.
violence, this week in Australia, we saw a horrendous, absolutely horrendous thing happen on a Newcastle beach. Now, I'm from Newcastle. I live in Newcastle now. I love Newcastle. It's a beautiful part of the world. But here's the thing. A man was seen with a rhymes with Yahtzee tattoo on the back of his leg.
Oh,
It had the
God.
Yahtzee symbol, and it had the words WHITE, power. Now, of course, you can have black power, brown power, but you can't have the other one. I guess the Yahtzee party really ruined that for us whiteys. But here's the
Yeah,
thing.
definitely.
This dipshit, whoever he fucking is, wearing that stuff, like obviously a flop, a dickhead, etc., etc., someone you'd look at and go, whoa, the fuck's wrong with that bloke? He had someone call the police on him, and he was arrested for having that tattoo.
If found guilty, the 36-year-old could face up to a year behind bars. Behind this blur, alleged Nazi hate symbols, SS bolts, and the words white power tattooed on his calf.
Self-evidently ridiculous that it would be illegal to put a Nazi symbol on a bedsheet, but you can put it on your body.
Okay, that's Chris Minns, the governor or premier of New South Wales, a state in which I live in and Newcastle is in. And he said that, having that symbol on a bedsheet is illegal now in this country, and it should be illegal to have it on your skin as well. Okay, I agree that it's extremely distasteful. Like, why anyone would subscribe to that ideology, it is far beyond me, but it's their body. What happened to my body, my choice?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be able to tattoo whatever the fuck you want on your body? I don't know. Am I outrageous because of that? Do I think, obviously it's extremely offensive to Jewish people. If you don't know, if you're a fucking absolute goose, the Yahtzee party did horrible things to the Jewish people. So obviously they're going to be outrageously upset about seeing something like that. But also, what do? Do you burn it off? Do you take that skin away from him? Do you arrest the person who did the actual tattoo? Where does it stop? And the most crazy thing, the most hilarious thing about this, and I've got something in the back of my mind about the people who, when an authoritarian government takes over, it's the people, I think it was North Korea, the people of North Korea are the ones that really enforce all the rules because they tell on all of their neighbors and the people they know if they break the rules. And this is what we saw from this guy.
Yeah, that's a bit,
Since spotted the tattoos allegedly linked to white supremacist ideology.
Seriously?
Pretty offensive. That's crazy, isn't it? So this guy rang the police and said this guy's got a horrible tattoo. Let me just be absolutely clear. I think it's a horrible tattoo, but where does this end? It's a terrible tattoo. Awful. But where does this end? What does this lead to? If you are controlling people's thoughts and expressions to the point where you're outlawing tattoos they have on their body, where does that then go? Because it starts with the Yahtzees, and rightfully so. They're pieces of shit. But where does it go from there? We all have opinions that are a little bit offensive. Even the most woke of us, we have those opinions. At what point do those opinions become outlawed? This is the slippery slope, right? They start taking these things away from us, and it all sounds good, but they take it away, and they take little bits away, and all of a sudden, we have nothing left. We have no autonomy over our own bodies, over our own thoughts, over our own speech. And Australia is completely fucked when it comes to this. The left-wing government that's currently in charge of the entire country, they want to really, really push these hate speech laws, and they want to control what we can and cannot say. But you know what? During the very sick times of the 2020s, there was a right-wing government in, well, slightly right, and they wanted to control us all by keeping us in our homes. So either way, we're fucked. I say this all the time, but we are slowly, well, maybe not so slowly anymore, but we're becoming England. We're becoming the UK. Over in the UK, you may not know this, but in 2023, there was 12,000 arrests for social media posts. 12,000. That's 30 a day. Now, some of those arrests were probably warranted, right? But a lot of them weren't. A lot of them were fucking ridiculous. Take the arrest of Graham Lineham. He was arrested at gunpoint over offensive trans-related posts. He questioned the transgender ideology and he was arrested because of that. There's Count Dankula, who made his dog do a Yahtzee salute. He was arrested and taken to court and taken to jail over that. So where does this go for Australians? Are we now going to have to deal with this every time we...
Seriously, arresting him for that? I mean, it's in poor taste, so I'm not going to disagree, but I don't know if he should be arrested for it.
We post something that may or may not be offensive to someone, because remember, everything is offensive to someone. You would be amazed, and I am probably in the best position out of anyone I know to know this. There are people out there that will get offended by fucking anything, and they will go to the most ridiculous extremes to try and get those people who said that slightly offensive thing in trouble. And it's crazy, and it would blow your mind.
Yeah, I believe it.
When the Human Rights Commission of Queensland went after me for one complaint that they had from an Aboriginal lady because I made an Aboriginal joke, because I make jokes about fucking everybody. If that had happened in 2025 and not 2023, I could be in jail right now. That's fucking crazy. Personally, I feel if you're going to be arrested for social media posts, it should be for something as ridiculous as this.
Regardless of who the shooters were, regardless of their names, regardless of their ethnicity, however indirectly or directly, this is because of Israel.
No, it's not. Got nothing. No. It's not because of Israel. It's them, you dumbass. You should not be in Australia. You should be kicked out, friggin' thrown overseas or something.
It's less safe. This will be used to hurt more non-Jews.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
This is because of
This is so fake.
Shut the fuck up, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me sticks Tulu of.
Yeah. All right. There's one more video I'm going to watch, and then we're going to finish up today. We've done a lot today, guys. We've done about 3 videos, so it's good. And we've done probably about an hour and a half, so we did all right.
Australians are
At least now the channel's stable. It's not crashing every 5 seconds, so now I think YouTube's okay.
not safe anymore. They just aren't. That is an absolute fact. We are caught up with a weak government who refuse to put people behind bars when they need to be there, refuse to kick people out of the country who need to be removed, refuse to do the things that we are sitting here begging them to do. This government, the former government, the police commissioners, I'm not talking shit about the cops. No, I'm talking about the people in charge, the people who've never worked a hard day in their lives, the people who call the shots. They are not looking after you and they're not looking after me. This is a video that's going to dive deep into the horrors that is the judicial system and the immigration system that doesn't give a fuck about you or me and favors the criminals who exist in this country who are still here harming people every day. This is what Gardsard calls suicidal empathy, and it is on display for us all to see. Now, this story is going to shock all of you because it's not the run-of-the-mill story. Okay, the ones that seem to get all of the attention are usually about someone who happens to be from somewhere like Pakistan or the Middle East or somewhere where, you know, we expect violence to come from. And that's not talking shit about all the people from Pakistan or the Middle East or anywhere like that. That just happens to be the facts of the situation, okay? This is about a man who came from somewhere where white people live. He came from Scotland. And the reason that I wanted to cover this story is to show you how deep this shit runs. This isn't just about migrants from countries that happen to be brown people. This is what I've been talking about this entire time. I made a video in mid-2025 talking all about immigration being too high. And the thing is, when you have those conversations, people start saying you're racist. No, this is not about race. This is not about color. This is about numbers. This is about too many people coming into a country that cannot support that number of people with housing, with hospitals, whatever.
I've been saying that for ages.
We're talking about a man named Charles William.
All right, I've got to start looking at my phone. I think in the future, guys, I will have my phone somewhere else. So I keep looking at it because I get bored. I get like, I think I got ADHD or something, so...
A British-born Scottish massage therapist who lived in Queensland.
Yeah, what about him?
Of sexually assaulting and R-wording numerous female clients over a 12-year period from 2003 to 2015.
Damn.
There was about 26 women involved and one underage young girl. He showed absolutely no remorse for his crimes, and his initial sentence was in 2018. He was sentenced to 5 years and 6 months imprisonment. And then further convictions happened, and 4 years was added on top of that. Now, here's the insane thing. His visa was cancelled because it's mandatory. If someone commits a horrible crime like that, they get 12 plus months in prison for a serious crime. Generally, they have their visa cancelled.
Yeah, well, they should.
Administrative Appeals Tribunal. He had in 2024, February 2024, he had his visa reinstated and he was allowed to remain in Australia.
Yeah, no.
For such a long time because his entire life was Australia, because his family was here, because everything was here, and sending him back to Scotland or sending him back to Britain, where he came from, go back to where you came from. That would have been unfair to him and his family and the people in his life. From what I have read on the subject,
I don't give a shit.
That's completely fucked. here's why I wanted to make a video on this particular subject. It just goes to show that, you know, a lot of people claim that the government's just trying to help out people who happen to have brown skin and they're just going to look after them because they're scared of the outcome. And that may be so in some situations. They don't want to appear racist. They don't want to appear like they're bigots. But in this case, it's so obvious that they're all just fucking retarded, that they can't fucking run a department, that there's no communication between the judicial system and the correction system and the police. There's like the powers that be. And this is not talking about, you know, people who work in prisons. This is not talking about your average Joe. We're talking about the tops, the heads, the head honchos.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
They don't talk to each other. And that's just absolutely blows my mind in this situation where you've got someone attacking people, removing their, like destroying their soul by doing these horrible offences, these horrible attacks, and yet they're allowed to stay in Australia. The only reason that there was anything done about this was because there was public outcry. If this didn't come to light, if the journalists who broke the story didn't break the story, then no one would have cared. And I bet that this whole fucking thing was leaked from the opposition or something like that in government, and that's why this actually got to the media in the first place. God, that's fucking gross. That's what that is. Fucking gross. And
Oh,
the reason all
definitely.
this actually happened is because of this thing called Ministerial Direction 99. It happened because of the then Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, and basically she was sick of Australia sending back New Zealand criminals back to New Zealand who were living in Australia for a long period of time. And basically what came from this was Australia, because they had a strict approach. Like if you spent 12 months in jail, you're going home, fuckface. But after this, they stopped doing that. And that seems absolutely insane. Like if you were not born here and you're a visitor in our country and you commit a crime, fuck off. I don't care where you're from.
Yep,
Fuck off.
true.
There were a lot of people who benefited from this. It wasn't just a Scottish bloke. Emmanuel Sakic, who was accused of murder. He was from Sudan. His visa was automatically cancelled in 2019. He was reinstated in 2024 because he'd been in Australia for so long.
Oh,
And then,
God.
weeks after being released from the immigration detention in April 2024, he was arrested and charged with murder, accused of fatally stabbing a 22-year-old man in Brisbane in May 2024.
What the hell?
Another fuckhead who was attacked children sexually. He was a New Zealand-born man. Direction 99 allowed him to stay in Australia because he had all these connections with Australia. There was a
Don't care about your connections. If you're from overseas and you do anything shitty, you should be kicked out. I don't care what the other country says.
Chilean pedo. He was born in Chile and he moved to Australia in 1987 at the age of 29. He avoided deportation under Direction 99 despite horrific crimes that he committed against kids. There's another one. There's
Oh,
a Chinese
God.
dude as well. Like, there's just so many of these.
It sounds like the whole list.
Thankfully, this fucking Direction 99, which, let's be honest, how the fuck did that even get into play in the first place? That's madness.
Oh, that's
Our
gotta be on the
Prime
left.
Prime Minister at the time, he was the Prime Minister when this took place, he decided that something needed to be done. There needed to be a rapid overhaul of Direction 99. There was revocation of Direction 99 on June the 21st, 2024. It was revoked and it was replaced with a new directive that corrects its perceived weaknesses. This marks a reversal of the more lenient policy, and this was the introduction of Direction 110. Now, this was supposed to, basically change the way we looked at criminals who were born in other countries. However, just last week, we see this. An Indian IT worker spared deportation despite sexually assaulting 17 women.
I would knock him out.
IT worker who avoided jail despite sexually
I
assaulting
mean, I'm
17
getting
women
sick of
and
these guys. I would punch him out.
deportation. David Arokij Maria Anthony fucking dude. You should be deported for that name. 35 has had his visa
Yeah, he should be
cancelled in
deported for
September,
that
appealed
name.
the decision at the Administrative Review Tribunal, which ruled in his favour earlier this month under the Labor federal government's Ministerial Direction 110. Obviously, it's not as powerful as they thought. The tribunal found it was highly relevant that County Court Judge Peter Rosen had decided not to jail Ryan or place him on the sex offenders registry and determined he was a very low risk of reoffending. So fucking what? The tribunal took into account the effect of deportation on his 3-year-old daughter. Okay, that's sad for the daughter, no doubt, but also too fucking bad. Your dad does a horrible thing. He gets kicked out of the fucking country. The tribunal also found that Ryan's mental health would be negatively impacted if he was removed. Of course, who gives a fuck?
I was gonna say, who cares?
Fucking bad. He was already getting therapy for depression and anxiety. Too fucking bad. You're the one who
Yep.
is the fucking criminal here. Like, Jesus Christ. And if you were interested in what actually happened, the only information we have is he targeted 18 women at a nightclub in Paran in Melbourne on September the 23rd,
God.
of October, and the 21st of October in 2023. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we scared of here? Why don't we, as a people, revolt against this? We should be angry that our government doesn't do more. Why is there so much bureaucracy involved in this? Why can't the police have more powers? Why can't we deport criminals once they've committed crimes in this country? It is absolutely beyond me that we have no ability to protect ourselves in this country at all. We can't have pepper spray, there's no weapons, there's no nothing, and yet we still have criminals walking around because we want to protect their kids, because if they remove them, it's going to hurt their mental health. Too
Bad.
fucking bad. This video really pissed me off. And I wanted to really get through it because I know that this video probably deserved a longer runtime, but with YouTube, if you have it too long, people drop off, they don't listen to all the facts and the figures. And when I had all this information here, in
Yeah.
front of me, there's so much to go through. The general TLDR of this is, it had a shit law in place. That law allowed people to take advantage of it through that tribunal, have their visas reinstated, and they came out with 1110, which was going to change the world, and it fucking didn't. It's not strong enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we need in this country, we need the ability to turn people away like America does. America doesn't give a fuck. To get into America, I had to prove that I was an alien of extraordinary ability to go and do comedy shows over there and sell tickets. Why don't we have the same process when it comes to Australia? People should absolutely be able to prove that they're not a criminal, that they're a good person, and that they bring something to this country. And if we
Yep.
can't do that, if you can't do that, and you want to come over here, too fucking bad. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Be dick stinks. Toodle.
I can't totally agree with him. I mean, this one is a really bad one because it shows you how weak our laws are, but nothing new for me. I am disgusted on it, guys. That's why I just don't get as angry as he does, because inside me is how it feels. He basically, he's like how I feel. That's basically it. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. I do want to do more this type of stuff, more political stuff to a degree. So probably next stream I'll do some more. I might do some videos off camera there and there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it'll probably take a while, guys, to get my groove. As long as YouTube doesn't keep stuffing up. And yeah, cheers, guys.